Push the weight in your flex. The live is 1 in the 6. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. Oh, it's time to bleed. Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Come on in, smash the like button. Hype the video, share the video. We are our own algorithm. Let's not leave it up to Miguel to do anything. Miguel's so mad. Oh, man. I'm doing an intro for my Rumble specifically. So we won't be over there every morning. Well, we're airing there every morning. But when I'm about to produce and get loose, I'll tell y'all, go over to Rumble so I can finish the show. But the link will be pinned at the top. As a matter of fact, I forgot to do that this morning. So let me do that right now as we speak. There's a link to the Rumble. Let me pin it. There's a link to the Rumble. I'm putting it on both my channels. Freedom is good, man. Freedom is so good. When you have options, it's just great. So when y'all get a minute, make sure y'all subscribe and follow me on Rumble. Follow me and Stormy on Rumble. Follow Coach Hudson. The General's over there too. My brother Junior, the Truth, is over there. We'll start out here. But man, oh man. When I'm ready to get out of here and be on some, yo, I got to say what I got to say. And I stop it on YouTube and I say, meet me on Rumble to finish it off. Had a long conversation yesterday, didn't we? A lot of things I revealed. Brief history. Hold on a second. Well, and but you don't have the evil arm of Google law over you. It's an amazing thing. So let's do this roll call because there's a lot of here I want to discuss. Dion next up, salute. Columbia, G. McCall, One Deep, my brother, Louis Hayton, Dragon Fang, Miss Van Houder, good morning. Stormy in here with everything, salute. HMC, what up? Beezy, Bernard Gilbert, Tim Harmon, Eric Jordan in the building, what's good? Stormy over there on Rumble also. Eric H, the Brothers UK, salute, brother. Brown Sniper. Freedom's March, my bro, what's going on? Romello, D4L, salute. Dal Anderson, Star City J, salute. Always good to see you. Ern Jordan, my brother No Smoke in the building. Go subscribe to my brother No Smoke Television. Renzo, 88 Sports Talk, always supporting. Salute. Robert Singleton, Monsa Musa, my big bro over there on Rumble. And Banks on Rumble. Louis Hayton's over there on Rumble. EJ on Rumble. Miss Van Houder's on Rumble. 78 ain't uploaded anything yet over there. He has an account. We're telling the General, make the lateral move so we have other options. Yes, sir. I'm telling you, it's great over there, man. Over there, you play the music you want. They don't bother you. You know what I mean? So we can coexist. I could do my calm live stream here. And then I'm saying, you know what? I gotta take the gloves off. And I'll just tell y'all, I'm ending the YouTube, go over to Rumble, and we'll continue the show. It's going to be like that some mornings. Pep talk, same thing. And right now, today, I'm doing this, what I spoke about yesterday. And I'm going to upload that on Patreon. I'm not even going to put that on Rumble because there's certain things that, you don't want to cross that line. Yes, sir. So let's get to this. I don't ever want to hear anybody talking about bending the knee or kissing the ring of Turki Al-Sheikh, especially if you're a matchroom fighter.
I have no problem working for His Excellency. If he asked me to clean his shoes, I would probably do it. No, but I
What? Y'all heard that?
I have no problem working for His Excellency. If he asked me to clean his shoes, I would probably do it. No, but I
Wow. Yeah, no smoke. Stormy B-Man. It's the same name over there. Stormy B-Man. Yo, y'all heard that? That's not AI. That's really Eddie Hearn. I just took the audio. That's really him. He said that.
I have no problem working for His Excellency. If he asked me to clean his shoes, I would probably do it. No, but I
Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. Rod Nail, salute. Y'all heard that, man? Good Lord. Good Lord. Well, y'all want to hear it one more time?
I have no problem working for His Excellency. If he asked me to clean his shoes, I would probably do it. No, but I
Let that sink in. True Boxer Night, salute. Brother Lamar, Blade Brown. Let it sink in for a moment because we going somewhere with this. See that? Okay. That was Eddie Hearn, man. That wasn't one of the fighters. That wasn't one of these small promoters talking about, I want to be down. No, that was Eddie Hearn. You remember how much noise this dude made almost a decade ago? I remember getting into fights with people on Facebook. And with Hearn, he's backed by $1 billion Russian. Welcome down, Van Houder, salute. Tim Harmon over there on Rumble. Jana Hudson, salute. Coach in the building. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I saw that. So I need to know what business these fighters say they standing on when they say Mellow Yellow ain't got to bend the knee for Tank. Man, Mellow Yellow ain't got to bend the knee for Turkey. He's a boss. Man, Turkey got all these dudes on their both knees. They're not proposing. Will you take this ring? Will you accept this? No. Get on your knees and put your hands on the ground too. I run this. And let me ask you a question, y'all. Let me ask y'all a question. Why is working with Turki Al-Sheikh not okay? When I saw Bob Arum, I saw Mauricio Sillyman, right? I saw this racist mofo over here. Where's he at? Rick Glazer, right? In Saudi. I'm screaming at Bud Crawford, no, don't go there and talk to Daniel Kinahan. I saw all these dudes. Andrew 100, salute. I saw all these dudes. I appreciate that, True Boxing Night. I saw all these dudes. Tyson Fury. All these dudes with Daniel Kinahan, and we openly knew who this dude was. And why was that okay? And when they found out he was a criminal, he goes on the run. Still at large, $5 million bounty on his head. According to my brother Art Hostage, he's living in Dubai as a Muslim now. Long ass beard. And nobody can run up there and go get him because of the rules. Okay. But why was that okay? Turki Al-Sheikh is no criminal. He's not on the run. There's no $1 million bounty on his head. Hell, man, my last appearance on Fanon's Live, he asked me about Daniel Kinahan. I gave my opinion, which wasn't good for him, Daniel Kinahan. He asked his opinion. He literally said Daniel Kinahan was a breath of fresh air. And if you guys sell little drugs and free your people, what's the problem? He said that. He said that. My phone started blowing up. Time to abandon ship. What the hell is he talking about? I sat there in silence like, whoa. I see what's going on here. Swear to God, if you were there, you there. That's a true story. And I said, man, you know, I think this brother trying to get a deal somewhere. Matter of fact, I know he's trying to get a deal. And that was the end of that. Why are y'all okay with that? But not Turki Al-Sheikh. He's not Daniel Kinahan. Yeah, what I just said is absolutely true. That really happened. That really happened. Turki Al-Sheikh's not a criminal. Look, this is business. They are starting a new wave over there. And they so happen to have deep pockets to pay top dollar to get what they want. And how do they get what they want? They got to crush the competition. They befriended them, and now they're crushing them. And I ain't got no problem with it. You know why? I keep saying, the old regime needs to die anyway. Remember when I said last year, Rome needs to fall? Burn this itch down? Remember when I said that? Why do you think I said that? If there was no Turki Al-Sheikh, Bivol and Better Be wouldn't have fought. There wouldn't have been no 5 versus 5. Devin would have been frozen out. Bud wouldn't have fought Canelo. Benavidez still can't fight Canelo because he's running from him. A lot of the good fights we had in the last 2 years wasn't because of Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren. No, Turki put this together, man. You want a taste of the old regime? Look at what Oscar's doing right now. Oscar, in cahoots with the WBC, took Ryan Garcia, leapfrogged him to fight the weakest, well, the weakest champion, who so happened to be Mexican. Let him juice. Yeah, he was juicing. And they're talking about his hair and how good he looks. DAZN talking about the need for a champion like this. Got him in a meme with Kobe Bryant. I'm going to tell y'all something else about that, but you know what? I don't think y'all ready to hear it. So I'll talk about it on Rumble because the haters are watching right now. Go follow me on Rumble. Because what y'all really are not, look, they friends, right? Yeah, Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren, they were all friends with Turki, and look at their relationship now. Faulty, right? Eddie Hearn, Conor Ben just left his ass. Y'all saw the Mac? Remember that famous scene? Your hoe chose me. Now you can accept it or we could get on some gangster-ish. Conor Ben followed the money. He don't care what Eddie did for him. He don't care. He went for the bigger penis and deeper pockets. The flashier Negro. That's what he did. And Eddie should know this is business. This is business. It's business. But Eddie got too comfortable because for years, him, his dad, they were the slave drivers. They were the pimps. And here come this dude, Turkey, with real money. Now you done G'd the Russian out of $1 billion. You took a lot of money and you didn't produce the fights. The Deontay Wilder fight was there to make, and you goofed it up. And when Deontay left the offices, if you read up, he didn't duck $100 million. They didn't have their business in order. We keep telling y'all that. When he left the office, they apologized. Yeah, $100 million. Well, how much is this guy getting? Oh, you can't tell me? Okay, well, is Anthony Joshua on the contract? Oh, no, we'll give you 3 fights with $100 million. Is Anthony Joshua on the contract? Oh, no, we'll give you 3 fights so you can pick the opponents. Is Anthony Joshua on the contract? We can't promise you that. This is the zone. He's a matchroom fighter. Have a good day. I gave you the short version. And he got up and left. And they said, we're sorry. We didn't have our business in order. They thought they were going to lock Deontay in $100 million because he never seen it because he's some country bumpkin from Alabama, right? He never seen that bread, right? Lock him in for 3 fights with the zone. And Eddie Hearn would have took his matchroom fighter in AJ and took him somewhere else to fight. And then the narrative would have been Deontay signed a $100 million duck. That's what the narrative would have been. Brothers UK in that super chat, he says, peace, Brother Drew. Just went over there. Do they need your government? No. You can change your name. My name over there is my name over here. Some of the brothers and sisters got different names over there. Wings in what they call a rumble rant. I don't know how to put it up. Let me see. Let me see something. Is it pinned? Okay. Oh, I pinned it up here. Oh, look at that. That's dope. Miguel and Jerome and the Machine are 100 mad because they can't funk with the final boss, aka the power and fury of the ninja sword heavyweight. It's LDBC or nothing in this beach. We heavyweights up in here. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta this is the only downside. I gotta go from screen to screen. Yeah. Miguel upset. Y'all could super chat over there and everything. Or rumble rant. Y'all can rumble rant.
Give power to my nigga sword!
Man, y'all don't know how excited I am about having these options, bro. Blade Brown over there, salute to you. KBGJ, salute, man. Fall back, salute. Yup. That's right. They know what time it is. They know what time it is. Big bank versus little bank, and they mad. So let me read to you. I'm pulling up this other screen. Let me read to you what's going on. Frank Warren's potential $1 billion lawsuit, legal action against Sella and TKO Group. I'm loving this. Boxing has been rocked by the news that Frank Warren is reportedly preparing to sue Sela and TKO Group Holdings, seeking $1 billion in damages. Queensberry Promotions Warren alleges a breach of contract that saw his partners use his boxing intel to launch Zuffa Boxing while cutting him out of the loop. Warren argues he served as a foundational architect for Saudi Arabia Saudi Arabia's entry in the world of boxing, only to be sidelined. Let me dissect what I'm reading here. Let me dissect what I'm reading. His partners use his boxing intel to launch Zuffa. Let me stop right there. Y'all remember when the brother Chanside makes the reference to intellectual property? King, the boxologist, my brother, salute. Ortney, what up? Chris Legg, what up? Y'all remember Champside says intellectual property? Y'all know what that is? You can sue for intellectual property, but you got to prove it. If you have a business model in place and it's written down and you've given someone access to it, or someone had gained access to it against your knowledge, and then they branch off and make another business. I think that was the beef between what's his name that owns Apple and Bill Gates, or something about that, something like that. Intellectual properties is that's a serious thing. Now, what he says here is boxing intel to launch Zuffa. Now, look, I don't know the ins and outs. Jose, salute. Yeah, Bill Gates, right? I don't know the depths of this, but it sounds like Frank Warren is trying to sue for stealing his business model. Eric, oh, salute. His business model? Well, if that's the case, Queensberry's business model is similar to Matchroom's business model. It's similar to, I don't know, Golden Boy's business model. The only person that had a unique business model was Al Heyman. And the idea of back money ran out. Once Turkey came on the scene, all of that back money, I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today type of thing, that's gone. It worked out for a little while. We'll pay you X amount of dollars up front, but we're going to give you a credit for pay-per-view sales, and every piece of popcorn that's sold, you're going to get a percentage of that. And in maybe 5 months from now, you might get $6 million up front, but when we cross all the T's and dot all the I's, you might end up with $35 million. That was unique. But when Turkey comes on board and says, yo, look, do you want to make $5 million straight up and then have to wait 5 months to a year in hopes that you could potentially, that term potentially might be in all the contracts. Steve L, salute, brother. Potentially make $35 million, or you could come ride with me and you're such a star, I'll pay you $20 million straight up. Straight up. Not 5, I'll pay you 20 straight up. Back end money is a promise. Well, it's not a promise. It's that term potential. It's a maybe. Imagine. Maybe. Well, did the numbers come in for my last fight? Well, we're not done counting it yet. We're still not done counting the pay-per-views. Hey, you know what? Let me give you I promise to give you $2,500 a week, though. And when all the money comes in, we'll give you the difference. Isn't that what happened to Adrian Broner? Do I have that wrong? Let me know if I have that wrong. They had him on an allowance. Real money ain't come in yet, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to pay you $2,500 a week. Then I understand it went down to $1,000 a week, but he was living above his means. K-Rod, salute. Over there on Rumble. DP Rocker, salute. Isn't that what happened? Could have swore that's what happened. Well, enter Turkey out of Sheik, the cheat code. Real money. Come through. What you want? What did Al pay you up front? $5 million? I got 15 of those things for you. He went to Teofimo Lopez. Yeah, thank you, K-Rod. Steve Jobs versus Bill Gates. Yup, that. They were suing and fighting for intellectual property. He stole from me. No, this is my idea. That's why Apple I have a MacBook. It's totally opposite from using Windows. It's frustrating when you've been using Windows all these years, and I bought a MacBook. I said, what the hell is this? It's a learning curve. So I don't know how this is going to work out with Frank Warren. I don't know. But let me finish my point. I'm going to get back to that. Real money. Turki Al-Sheikh is a cheat code. He went to Teofimo Lopez and said, you never made $1 million? I got 11 of those things for you. Just fight Devin. And Tio said no. Tay, good morning. Tio said no. Real money. Oil money. Man, got the haters so mad. They start trying to dissect the whole history. Jeff Sparks, salute. The whole history of Saudi Arabia. Oh, they got slaves and they don't like black people. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. I thought you keep it boxing. Uh-oh. I thought you keeping it boxing. Oh, you keep it boxing when it's convenient. Got it. Man, I don't mess with Saudi, man. They got slaves. But when I say I don't deal with Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, because they're racist, you tell me you keep it boxing. Pick a struggle. You know what the deal is here? Turkey's making these kids get down or lay down. You want this bread? You want to earn your spot? Fight for it. That's all he's saying. That's all he's saying. You want your spot? Fight for it. That's it. That's what boxing used to be. Something changed once Al Haymon and Floyd got into the game, and I supported it because they were being attacked racially. And for a while, we were getting fights. Everyone was running over to Al Haymon. But Al Haymon's business model has come and gone, and I've accepted that. I'm cool, fine. Because there's a new big boy in town. You can't compete with Turkey. You can't compete. And I don't know how long Brother Cole, salute. I don't know how long Riyadh season's going to be around, but I need him to be around now because I need him to bust this thing up because I didn't like it. Julian, salute, brother. Appreciate you. I said this, and I'm getting what I want. I said this needs to burn to the ground. This is burning the way things used to be in the last 15 years to the ground. Burn it. It needs to die. I said that. Oh, Drew, but the Muhammad Ali Act. Y'all wasn't talking about the Muhammad Ali Act when your favorite fighter was hiding behind the politics of boxing. So when I say this thing needs to burn, that's what I'm talking about. Burn this. I'm done. Destroy it. I'm sick of it. Now you want to cry about the Muhammad Ali Act? Y'all can't even spell his name. Y'all don't know if it's M-U or M-O. Burn it. Eddie Hearn is the reason why Wilder and AJ didn't fight for Undisputed. That's his fault. And AJ signed a lifelong contract with him. That tells you right there, he didn't want this fight. Now, I'm going to tell you something else. The night that Deontay lost to Joseph Parker, the same card, AJ beat what's this dude? The Swedish dude. Why have a problem remembering his damn name? God damn, cut up Fury's eye. Y'all know what I'm talking about. AJ stops him. I remember they put the camera on Eddie. He jumped up clapping. He jumped up, PGA, salute. He jumped up and started clapping. I said, okay, your man won. But I knew it was coming. I said, they can still fight. These fools out of Wildin', thank you. These fools got online and started saying, well, Deontay lost. That's why that fight ain't happened. No, that was not part of the deal. That was not part of the deal. They could have still fought. And I'm saying, well, now it's definitely in their best interest because Deontay lost his last fight, right? He lost his last fight. Get him. Get him. No. That was not part of the deal. They still could have fought. Just like Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Devin was so boring, but he won. Ryan looked like trash and lost. Got dropped in the second round versus Rolly Romero. That fight still could have happened. But Ryan said, my hand hurt. It's broken. One of the hardest injuries to prove. And y'all let him get away with it. Now watch this. Y'all let him get away with an injury and didn't ask to see no x-rays or MRIs. Y'all didn't ask anything. Y'all took Ryan at his word, the racist liar that he is, and y'all let him get away with it. Richardson Hitchens is now about to be stripped of his IBF belt. And he said that I had a tummy ache or food poisoning. They're about to strip him. Well, that's what Blue reported. They may or may not. But you see the scrutiny he's under right now? The world didn't have that same smoke for Ryan Garcia. They know he could have still fought Devin Haney. He knows he still could have fought Devin Haney. He's openly ducking right now. Right now. Richardson Hitchens, you're a little too dark. You're a little too dark to do what you just did. You're the wrong complexion. You're like 14 shades too dark, you darky. Your name is Africa, given to you by your gym filled with a bunch of Latinos. That's what you said. If they take this boy belt, I'm going to laugh, bro. Africa, your name is Africa. Your name alone, they're going to take that thing from you. And watch this. If you come back and don't fight anybody but oh boy, if you come back and don't fight Oscar Duarte, they're going to drag you. And I'm going to drag you. Don't worry about it. I'm going to drag you. Don't worry about it. Because I'm keeping it boxing, right? Oscar Duarte, who don't even speak English, he was done a disservice, right? I'm keeping it boxing, right? When your tummy ache is over, that should be your next fight. Darky.
Nigger.
I just had to get that out. You got to fight and beat Oscar Duarte because I'm not sold on you, bruh. I'm not sold on you. Yeah, I know PGA's, a lot of people don't like Dana White, but here's why I think he's perfect for this situation. He's perfect for this situation because I know how he runs the UFC. I've heard all about it. But he's the perfect pit bull to bring in here to chew on these beef jerkies. That's perfect. You know why? The brown man got a hold of the white man to take care of these colonizers. So he got an American colonizer to take care of the British colonizers. And I'm watching the Inferno. I love this. Look at what's happening. Conor Ben, the brown man. I don't care if his mom is white. I see how dark his father is. With his Cisco blonde hair. Didn't even give him a phone call. We about to play that. I appreciate you hiding my B samples and justifying me popping dirty by eating eggs and getting me these fights in Florida where I couldn't fight in my own country. Eddie did that. And what did he do? Like the whore he is, he followed the money. And Dana White said, your hoe chose me. And we can handle this like gentlemen, or we can get on some gangster shit. And I'm telling you right now, Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn, they are connected. They are gangsters over there. Essex boys and all of that. But Turki Al-Sheikh, that's beef they don't want. I promise you. Turki will show up to Wembley, and he don't have one fighter on that card, but he'll come up there, they'll roll out the red carpet for him, and he'll sit right there ringside and stare you guys down, and there won't be a mother skunking thing you could do about it. This dude just suns you. And I love it. I love this. And with Hearn, I say, yo, this is going to run out. Just make the fights. He got $1 billion from DAZN, right? Or whatever, however that was working out years ago. I said, just make the fights now. And what was happening was your favorite fighter was benefiting off of the goddamn politics. The old regime kept Deontay and AJ fighting for Undisputed. The new regime had Undisputed fought for immediately, and it so happened it was two white guys. But y'all want to keep it boxing though, right? It wasn't because Turki loved Fury or Usyk. He said, no, this needs to get done. One face, one name. Something that Wilder was screaming about and y'all made fun of. How good is AJ now, mentally, with what he just went through? Lifetime contract with this guy, Eddie Hearn. You gonna tell me he wanted to fight Deontay? You're bugging. Frank Warren is trying to sue for $1 billion. Me and Stormy was talking about this yesterday. Listen, man, is Queensberry worth $1 billion? He said here in this article, let me pull it up again, he's suing for boxing intel. Look, intel could mean a number of things. How you run your business, connections that you've made. So what? Is there a rule saying you can't talk to the same people? He probably went to those same people. Hey, man, I got money. What we doing here? Well, show me the money. We can do anything you want to do, daddy. So they started Zuffa. It says Warren argues he served as a foundational architect of Saudi Arabia's entry into the boxing world, only to be sidelined. That's business. Warren reportedly entered an exclusivity agreement with SILA to share his operational expertise. So they hired Frank Warren for his mind. That's what he's alleging here. Warren also cites a separate agreement with TKO that supposedly gave them access to sensitive data. Here we go. Sensitive data and specifics of his agreement with SILA, or SELA, however it's pronounced. The breach allegedly occurred when SELA and TKO bypassed Warren to ink a direct 5-year deal to create Zuffa Boxing. Oh, they cut the middleman. He was the middleman. He was the real estate agent. Lord Sweat, real Baltimore in the building. Salute. Not a salute. So he was playing middleman, collecting the check and directing traffic. Do this, do that. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. And once they felt, hey, man, we know what we need to know. Man, we don't need this dude no more. Now, here's the funny part. Well, let me finish reading it. All right, so it says the breach allegedly occurred when SELA and TKO bypassed Warren to ink a direct 5-year deal to create Zuffa Boxing. The response from the Saudi side has been swift and dismissive. A representative of SILA has denied the claims. Here's the thing. I'm going to say something, And like I said, you always hear me say things. $1 Trillion Dream, salute. MJ, salute. What do I always say? Documentation beats conversation. If they had a handshake deal, you got to prove that. You got to prove that. If it's in writing, Isaiah, what up? If it's in writing, then you prove it. But am I missing something? It sounds like this is not in writing. It sounds like he's pitching a fit because they did speak to him and they learned fast and he put them up on game. And he thought, it sounds like that he thought they had an understanding. And all they did was take his knowledge and go around him and started cutting deals. But watch this. If there's nothing etched in stone, that's the key. If there's nothing etched in stone, this ain't going nowhere. You seeing it right now online with that black brother, tendonism. And that white man came up and threw him on social media and they high-fiving. And I didn't even know the full story, but you know what I did know? I said, I know where this is going. Super Mac time, salute. I said, I know where this is going. Okay, those are his ribs. Oh, the meat falling off the bone. Oh, yeah. I know where this is going. I didn't even have to unmute the video. I just saw that white man smiling and high-fiving, and he in their kitchen, all those white chefs. Harvey, what up? And I'm like, oh, boy, I know where this is going. And as soon as I unmuted it, the story came out. I said, see, knew it. They befriended that dude. They took his recipe. They did all of that stuff. I think they bought him a car and sent him on his way. And they bought the name. Did they not? Tendonism? They bought the name. Now, I heard he's starting his own a restaurant or whatever, and good luck to him. What is he going to do? If he comes back and says, okay, it's no longer called tendonism, it's called tenderism. You know what that white man's going to do? The white man's going to sue him. He can't make that name. He can't use that name. I bought the name. Well, we all know it was his. They said it online. But hey, man, documentation beats conversation. I bought the name from him, and I gave him a car. So he agreed to this. And if he did, we know the truth. We know the facts. But what did he do? That's all I was saying. What did he do? Look, man, this is business. These guys are cutthroat. Of course they took his recipe. Of course they bought his name. Of course they underpaid him. And now they're eating off of something that he created. This happens all the time. Happened to musicians, the rappers. This happens all the time. When you don't understand what you have. The thing is, if any of this is in writing, Turkey's wrong. I'm going to say it one more time. If any of this is in writing, Turkey's wrong. But you know what? You think this dumb motherfucker going to get $1 billion? No. You know what's going to happen? Turkey going to pay these lawyers. He might even pay the damn judge. Say, yo, look, man, he was wrong, but $1 billion, Frank, no. We'll give you 50. We'll give you 50 mil. Hell, we'll give you 100 mil. What's that to Turkey? We'll give you 100 mil. Take your 100 mil and go somewhere. But let me tell you the domino effect. Let me tell you the domino effect. $1 billion, shoot for the stars, you land on the moon. He ain't getting that. What's he gonna do? Bankrupt the big dog where the fighters can go and make money or more money than they would have made just fighting alongside under the old regime with Frank Warren? What are you gonna do? These fighters are whores. They've proven that. Frank Warren could sue them, and then what? What are you going to do? Start putting on big shows? You know what Turkey will say? You guys, this guy sued me. If you guys stay over there with Frank Warren, don't come over here. And I'm Daddy Warbucks. Kev, what up? I'm Daddy Warbucks. He sued me, and I had to pay him. Don't you bring your ass over here. What do you think those fighters are going to do? Stay with Frank Warren? I just told you these guys are horse. Conor Ben just left Eddie Hearn after all he's done to him. Done for him. Those fighters care about that bridge being burned. Right now, for all we know, they're like, yo, I done had 2 good paydays fucking with Turkey. They're going to go to Frank. You sure you want to do this? I'm telling you right now, Okoli, you leave me, I'm suing you for breach of contract. He don't go to Turkey and say, hey, Turkey, he's going to sue me for breach of contract. Turkey, how much? How much your contract? Yeah, let him sue, I pay. Come fight with me, and it's over. And he'll do that for Dubois or Coley or oh my God, Ajit Cabiel. He can go right to Ajit right now. You want to do 6 fight? You want to do 6 fight? Ratchet, what up? Tell you what. Come over here, I'll make fights happen. Drop into them. He gonna go to Usyk, who just signed where? Where did Usyk just sign? Where did Usyk just sign? Where did Usyk just sign? It was just a couple of days ago. Where's Usyk now? And what did Mauricio Silliman just tell Chris Mannix? He's happy. Southpaw salute. He's happy to be into them. Mannix was like, what? He got to wait. Gio James, salute. He got to wait 2 years with the hopes of fighting Usyk and paying sanctioning fees on the interim belt. He's next up. But Usyk just signed with Zuffa. If Turkey and Dana White go to Ajit Cabiel, Jelly Bean salute, and says, hey, man, you want Usyk like by summertime? You want Usyk by summertime? I can make that happen. Now, if they announce that for July, and here come Suleiman, it's not gonna be for undisputed because I'm taking my belt. Do we care? Oh man, I like the fight, but Ajit could be undisputed with that fight. Guess what? They're gonna make a belt. They're gonna make a belt, and we know the truth. Because I'm not following these sanctioning bodies anymore. They've done me dirty in the last 20 years. 10 years ago, some of y'all were in elementary school. So y'all not feeling this how I'm feeling it. Coach said they battling for the trademark as we speak. Yeah. They thieved them. We've seen this a million times. Some of these young cats, they've seen this for the first time. Oh my God, that's so wrong. Man, this is old. That was a black man that wasn't hip to how things are. Shelton, salute. This is old. They do this all the time. So if Dana says, look, man, the audience pays to see the fights, not the fighters, not these stupid ass belts. And depending on what sanctioning body you work with, you do one false move, they're taking the belt from you, especially the WBC. They'll either take the belt from you or make up a situation where their favorite fighter keeps the belt because he's good for business, like Ryan Garcia. Like how they felt with Vasily Lomachenko was over Devin Haney. Like what they did for Canelo Alvarez when it came time for him to fight Jamal Charlo 8 years ago. He said, not so fast, franchise status. Stop that going on. Like how they justify Canelo Alvarez not fighting who? David Benavidez. Get out of here, man. And that type of bullshit been normalized. But if you're a Canelo fan, you love it. If you're a Tank fan, you love it. If you're an AJ fan, you loved it. If you was a Pacquiao fan, you loved it. That man ducked Floyd Mayweather for 4 years, man. 4 years, and that's the truth. That happened. Because if it wasn't the truth, I'd say it. But I have too much documentation. I say, all right. No. This is not Floyd's fault. We're not talking about him being a woman beater. We're not talking about him being an asshole. We're not talking about him being self-hating. We're talking about the business of boxing. That was Bob Arum and Pacquiao's fault. 100%. And I have too many articles in the timeline to prove it. Raven, what up? Too much. And this is what we was dealing with for the last 15 years. I'm like, this fight should be next. What are we doing here? But in the same time, they charging us from, I remember when the pay-per-views was $30. Then it jumped to $50. Then it jumped to $80, and now it's up to $100? I'm like, nah, what are you talking about? They bragging about pay-per-view sales, and belts don't matter. They collect dust. Whatever excuse you need to avoid your contemporary, you and your fan base defend it. I watch the sport. Stormy says, watch the sport. The difference between you and I is I want my guy to prove he's the best. That's why I fuck with Deontay. That's why I fuck with Devin. That's why I fuck with Errol. They were actively pursuing to test their mettle. Your favorite fighter is not. Listening to this goon on Champ's side yesterday. I've never been so like lost in my life. I'm like, what's wrong with these niggas? To bend and twist the truth. That's why I said this whole regime need to burn. If you have to sacrifice the Muhammad Ali Act, you know what? Then that's just what it is. Y'all didn't care about it any goddamn way. Some of you knuckle draggers need to be in chains. That's right. Felix Nunez in that super chat salute. He says, turkey bag won't last forever. Get it while it lasts. Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to be around. It's just long enough to disrupt what was normalized over the last 15 years. It's doing just enough. It's doing just enough to disrupt what's going on. And that part I like. Is Turkey perfect? No. No. Y'all remember, I think in the early 2000s, they did the new Batman that came on TV, the cartoon. It was called The Batman. Y'all remember that? Well, I couldn't watch every episode because I was working at the time, right? But I remember the season finale, I don't know how many seasons it had, where there was an alien invasion or something, and the villains had to unite with the heroes to defend against the common enemy. And you're watching the Joker fight alongside Batman. It was an amazing thing. Well, I just said, I like seeing the colonizer handle the British colonizer. This is white on white crime supported by a brown man. I did? Hold on. Oh. EJ in that super chat, he says, Eddie Hearn, ew, is ready to get his cheeks clapped. Hashtag gay.
Man crush.
Village brother, salute. This needs to burn. How do you stop a villain? Y'all remember Sho Kazugi? I forgot what movie it was. Only a ninja can stop a ninja. Yeah, right. Nobody else could have did this but Dana White. Yeah, Dana White's a villain. All right, let's roll with that. I wouldn't have picked a better person to F this up. Because 5 years ago, I'd have been like, nah, Dana ain't getting involved in boxing. I know he want to get involved, but he don't know what he's doing. Man, Turkey ran out and grabbed him. They said, we're gonna learn game, and we're gonna do this thing by ourselves. Anthony, salute. Let me go back to this article because they denied all the claims. We're disappointed by the unfounded claims brought by Queensberry and Frank Warren. We reject them in their entirety and are confident that the facts will fully vindicate our position. Silla. Now, if this lawsuit fails, Frank better watch out, because they're going to start openly throwing bread at their fighters. Now, what I said in reference to Usyk and Caballel, that's very real. Usyk just signed with Zuffa. Didn't I just have someone on my panel talking about why Zuffa is not running things? Didn't that same person say, no, the PBC runs boxing? Like it or not, Zuffa's the future. Like it or not. I don't know how long it's going to be around. But if you was molding a fighter and you were to send them somewhere and Zuffa showed interest in them, you might want to send your fighter over there to get your bread. You don't know how long it's going to be around. But if you stick to the old regime, go to the PBC, back in money, sorry. Go to Eddie Hearn, look at his track record. Go to Frank Warren, he's about to burn a bridge with Saudi. He about to take all those fighters over there. Ajit Caballel should be fighting Usyk next. Usyk just signed with Zuffa. Tyson Fury got a fight coming up with that caveman that just fought. Y'all know that's not a Queensberry promotion? I think it's worse than what we're already seeing. You see, we get the news late. So let's see. Fury is not fighting on Queensberry. Conor Benn just flew the coop, right? Chris Mannix just put Mauricio Silliman just put himself on blast because he told the truth. And he just said what we've been saying over the last 20 years. Everybody mad at him over the Bud and Shakur situation with the money. And they said, we don't care, just take the belts. And I told y'all, he could take the belts, but is it in black and white? Hey, you pay me my 3%. If you don't, well, it was 3% for Shakur. But he didn't know the money for Bud, so he just threw $300,000 out there because he assumed what he made. He said that. It's an assumption. So how the fuck you put a number on an assumption? You never asked Bud. You never asked him to open up his books. So he said, take your stupid ass belt. Now, if it's in contract that is it in the contract that we just take our hardware back and erase you and say you're not the champion anymore? Or if you don't pay us our 3% like you agreed, we're going to take your belt and sue you for the money. I want to see if it's that. Because if it's that, why are you not suing Mauricio? You want to know why Mauricio's not suing? I'm going to tell you. If he sues, that's going to open up a can of worms. Because every fight in those rankings, they could probably sue too. Probably. Hey, man, I fought to get into your rankings. I did what I had to do to get in your rankings. I worked from 25, now I'm number 3, and you pull Ryan Garcia from 140 and he leapfrogged everybody, got a title shot, and won. And I'm still sitting here at number 4. Why am I here? Is it in the contract that you can just do that? I didn't know that. Where's that in black and white? You know what? I could sue you for that because higher rankings means TV time. I might get an Adidas deal, a Nike deal, a shoe deal, something. Recognition. You're prohibiting me from feeding my family properly because I'm not marketable. I didn't agree to this. I'm going to sue your ass. That's probably why he's not smashing the gas. That's probably why. Let me just get those belts off of you. And they say, I don't care. Take those stupid ass belts. The ring is free. Whoa! Unique Dawn, salute. Nice guy, Bray, salute. So there's a new sheriff in town. So this guy, Frank Warren, drew a line in the sand. Here are the implications. It says the most immediate implication of a losing, I'm reading the house written, of a losing the legal battle is the total alienation of Queensberry from the Saudi boxing powerhouse. If Warren loses a $1 billion lawsuit against Sela, or Sela, I don't know. I'm gonna call it Sela, S-E-L-A, Sela. He effectively burns a bridge to the most important financial backer in boxing. I just said that. I'm reading this for the first time, y'all. I just said that. His stable of fighters, including stars like Tyson Fury, Daniel Dubois. Didn't I just say Tyson Fury is not fighting? The next event he's fighting on is not Queensberry, by the way. Didn't I just say that? Stars like Tyson Fury, Daniel Dubois, Hamza Shiraz might find themselves frozen out of the massive paydays in Riyadh. This could lead to a mass exodus of talent from Queensberry to TKO. I swear to God, I'm just reading this for the first time. Didn't I just tell you that that's the potential? This is where, Frank Warren needs to shut up, drop this lawsuit. Shut up, be quiet, humble yourself, take less money, in my Jamal Charlo voice. Shut up, be quiet, drop that lawsuit, humble yourself. Humble yourself. You cannot compete. $1 billion? Man, shut up and take this penis to the jaw, Frank. Shut up, man. Man, his fighters are like, God damn, shut up.
Get your hand off my penis!
Y'all know Floyd Mayweather was signed to Top Rank, and there's a whole mixtape of him calling out everybody that was relevant, and he could not get, Scott, what up? He could not get a fight to save his life. And he was humble. And this was Pretty Boy Floyd. And Bob Arum was not doing right by him. Al Heyman came along and said, I'm going to buy you out that contract. And that's what he did. He bought Floyd out that contract, and Bob Arum didn't see the dollar signs in Floyd. He was just another black fighter that was talented. He was going to be around, and eventually he was going to throw a Mexican in front of him and hope for the best. That's, because there's a no black fighter rule in the Top Rank offices. Shout out to Cameron Duncan to confirming that. He buys Floyd's contract out, and Floyd went on to be one of the biggest rock stars in boxing that we've seen in a long time. Love him or hate him. That's the truth. If Frank Warren burns this bridge, because this is ego right now. He understands business. You know why? Because he's been on the giving out end of it. He's been giving out the ass whoopings. You see, this is the problem right here. Frank Warren never got his ass whooped at the business table. It may have happened on a lesser degree here and there, but not on this level. Not on this level. He's never dealt with someone that had bigger bank than him. He might have dealt with people that had equal bank or slightly lesser bank, but not like this. He's getting sunned. He's not used to this. And this is where the white arrogance comes in at. That's the arrogance of these motherfuckers. Humble yourself, be quiet, take less money. That's the arrogance. You know, like how they say, I literally heard Bill Maher say, yeah, I don't like these rappers, they get on there and with their cars and, the arrogance of them. I said, arrogance? You remember that white chicken chick,
on Fox told LeBron, shut up and dribble, as if he's not a man, as if he's not black, as if he's not allowed to have an opinion on politics. He's not allowed to do that. You can tell him, shut up and dribble, right? But when Justin Hawk Bradshaw, the wrestler, when they found out he was smart, and I saw him on what was it, on C-SPAN, talking about the stock market. This is before his gimmick changed to JBL. That's why his gimmick changed to JBL. But prior to that, he was on C-SPAN talking about the stock market in his APA shirt, long hair, and mustache. And I said, oh, but he's a smart dude. That's why the gimmick changed. They didn't tell him shut up and wrestle. Black people getting slayed in the street, and LeBron says one thing about it, and then shut up and dribble. That's the arrogance of these crackers. We were 3/4 of a man. We're not men, we're stock. We are stock. What do you do with stock? You trade them. The stock market, you trade. What did they do in sports? They trade livestock, chicken, beef, pigs, cows, bulls, donkeys, horses, stock, livestock. But what happens when these hoes, your stock, start to fight back? What happens, and what do they do? When I say fight back, what do they do? On to the next. On to the next. And this is the first time that Eddie Hearn, his dad Barry Hearn, and Frank Warren had to humble yourself, be quiet, shut up. They've never had to deal with this. This is new to them. Stormy Beeman in that super chat salute, he says, didn't I say a few videos ago the exodus has begun? You sure did. The exodus has begun. To which the naysayer wrote in my comment section, this is no exodus. To be young and dumb and full of cum. Yes, they're so stupid, they don't understand what they're seeing. But you know what it is, Stormy? Some of them do. They're resistant to it. You know why? A lot more slaves could have been freed if they knew they were slaves.
Good night.
Huh? What? Who said that? A lot more slaves could have been freed if they knew they were slaves. Who said that? Nitty G, salute. Who said that? Thank you, Brothers UK. Megan Kelly said, shut up and dribble. Who said a lot more slaves could have been freed? She said, I could have freed a lot more slaves if they knew they were slaves. Because some niggas was like, well, I'm in the house. I ain't got to sleep out in the shed with the rest of y'all. I get the good parts of the pig. I get to dress like Massa. And Sister Harriet said, yo, you need to come with me. Ain't gonna work out. And you know what happened? When Master got out of bed and saw 50 of his slaves that are normally picking cotton in his field, he's like, where the fuck is everybody out? Wait, whoa. And then he goes to the nigga that was the overseer. Where your people at? Go get them. Well, Massa, I think they done left. Left where? There's nowhere to go. They went up north. There's no slavery up north. I think they cut out. Well, this cotton got to be picked, so get your ass in that field. But Massa, there's no work here. I got to go get some more slaves because these niggas done ran away. But the cotton got to get picked, so get your black ass in there. Harriet tried to tell you. Who's this nigga on that nag looking ass? The help gone. So now you're the help. dummy. She tried to tell you. Let me get back to this article real quick. The courts, if the courts dismiss Warren's claim as a breach of contract, it gives Zuffa Boxing a green light to monopolize the sport. TKO can apply the UFC business model to boxing without restraint. This means moving away from the traditional sanctioning bodies, WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO, and toward a centralized league where the promoter, Zuffa, controls the rankings, the belts, and the broadcast rights. Wait, hold on. No. Because we've updated, we've upgraded. Hey, listen, Tank fans, you're annoyed at that? Good. That means if your boy comes back to fight, he has to fight under those proper circumstances. I'm not saying he's going to lose every fight. I'm not saying he's going to win every fight. What did Drew always say? I just want to see him fight his contemporaries. You just want to see him. I want to see him fight his contemporaries. I want to know if he's as good as you feel. Is he nice in the ring, or is his poster nice on your bedroom wall? It is stuck to your wall with no tape. You nasty mother effer. I know what you're doing. Why is that on your wall? That's how far you're skeeting? No tape, watch this. Nah! And then you just slap that damn thing on the wall. You're disgusting! How are you long bombing on your wall? Captain America, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Do you know there were small islands in Japan? And there were people hiding out in their islands, and the war was over like 2 decades, and they didn't know. They were hiding out on that goddamn island. Somebody had to go tell them, hey, man, how long you been here? What you mean? It's like, yo, the war been over. What are you talking about? Hiding out in the jungles and shit. You didn't know? The war been over. We got telephones, and there's Americans in Japan right now. Everyone's chilling. What are you doing here? Hiding out. Eating beetles and lizards. What's wrong with you? War over 25 years. They're making video games and cell phones for us. You on some off island in Japan, waiting for the Americans. What's wrong with you? Yep. Turkey gonna make your favorite fighter earn his keep, and that scares you. Coach Cal online talking about, oh man, reach out to Tank. I can't say what we're doing next. We're gonna do something, but show the kids you love them. Hey, Cal, last time his fanatics showed them that they love him, he cussed them out. Did I just make that up? No, I did not. No, I did not. The last time somebody reached out to Tank to say, hey, man, we love you. Come back. You know, the game is lame without you. His response was F you. I couldn't believe it. I said, nah, this ain't real. He didn't say that. He absolutely did. He absolutely did. Wild work. I'm trying to look for it right now. Game lame without you, Tank. F you. Shut up and be a fan. Running back with Lamar Roach. F you. Shut up and be a fan. This is how he talks to his people. So now Coach Cal saying, no, it's okay to talk to him now. Y'all still fans of that guy, man? Go ahead. I'm going to read it. The game miss you, broski. This ish so bunk now. His response, F y'all. I'm looking right at it. I'm not making it up. I don't have to lie on this kid at all. I don't have to lie on this kid at all. That's what he said. Hey, Ryan, get on 24/7 OSDT. Make sure you're not cheating. Oh, Devin scared. You know what that sounds like? When Floyd Mayweather said, hey, Manny, get on 24/7 OSDT. Oh, Floyd's trying to reinvent the rules of boxing. He's scared. Chicken Floyd. What happened when he got on it? The KO stopped, right? Floyd's a chicken, but Nonito Donaire was a hero. See how that works? But there ain't no racism in boxing, though. I'm tired of telling you knuckle draggers to wake up. I'm tired of it. Tired of it. Because y'all will never wake up. So stay asleep. So this was real funny. Let me play this for y'all.
Like beating up babies. I feel like I came in and I'm beating up babies. I expected more. I expected some pushback. I expected some, I don't know, them to be more game. They're all way out of their league. Like, absolutely, positively out of their league.
Hold on. Is he lying? Is he lying? He's not saying that he is the boss. When he says that they're way out of their league, he's talking about who's backing Zuffa. Turki Al-Sheikh, man, you guys are way out your league. They're going to do just enough to crush you guys. Y'all better, do you hear Bob Arum talking crazy? You know, the last of the bullshit is what you saw over the weekend with Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios. What they're going to do is try and make, what they're going to do with the WBC. Rich, what up, bro? What they're going to do with the WBC is they're trying to make, Ryan Garcia this rock star. I'm going to tell you why that's going to fail. I'm going to tell you why that's going to fail. But you know what? I'm going to wait. I'm going to play this, and I'm going to wait, and I'm going to tell y'all on Rumble. I'm going to tell you why that's going to fail. It's not what you think.
I don't think anybody looks at Eddie Hearn and says, oh, this guy's a visionary, or, the guy's been in boxing forever. I look at him like most politicians. You've done nothing in the sport except stay in the lane and, play by all the rules and, ride right along with but you ended up becoming part of the problem is what happened.
Whoa! Where's the lie? I just told you. We didn't get Wilder and AJ. That was Eddie Hearn's fault, and that was AJ for not forcing the hand. And then AJ fucked around and signed a lifetime contract. Kawhi, that didn't happen. You serious, bro? Hold on a second. That's real? He says, Mag 7 told Tank on IG, I miss you. The world miss you. I got your picture on my motorcycle. Facts. Brother, no. That he didn't. Real shit? Real shit? He said that? He said that on IG. He said that oh my God, if I could see a screenshot of that, that is the most hope, bro. Bro, listen. Y'all really think that I be making things up? Dude. Can I ask y'all a question? Let me ask y'all a question. First of all, if you can get a screenshot of that, if he ever put it out, I don't know. Because if he DM'd it to him, we ain't never going to see it. Oh, Dirt Gang Boss, I don't know. But Pro Box is staying completely in their lane. They ain't trying to poke the bear. But listen, Snoop, what up? The fascination that these men have for that yellow dude and Ryan Garcia, I keep telling y'all, it's on the homosexual level. I keep telling y'all that. I keep telling y'all that. Keep telling y'all that. This dude is gay. I keep telling y'all that. The dude is gay. These dudes are gay. You don't have no goddamn... He don't have a picture of Dr. King, Muhammad Ali, who meant more than boxing, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Harriet Tubman. You don't have that airbrushed on your motorcycle. You got a picture of Tank Davis on your motorcycle? Really? Nothing else needs to be said about that. Todd French in that super chat, he says, Turkey is cooking Kinahan as well. Hashtag monopolization. And like I said, why was it okay for all these guys to run over there and try and partner up with Daniel Kinahan, who was a known criminal, who is a known criminal. But once he got outed, everyone had to apologize and back off and cooperate with the FBI, right? And here comes Saudi, real Saudi money with Turkey al-Sheikh, and y'all mad. Y'all mad.
And I don't want to sit here and smash Eddie Hearn or anything else, but Eddie Hearn works for his dad.
Liar. Yes, you do.
Dad. You know what I mean? He works for Dad. And, you know, I don't think he's come in and ever had any type of vision, whereas we do. And we're gonna change the entire sport. And I understand the people who are the status quo in boxing don't like it. But it doesn't mean they can't still do their thing. If your thing is as good as you think it is, and you are as good as you think you are, then do your thing. Good luck to you. I'm going to do my thing, and they're going to do theirs. Eddie Hearn and his dad have a lot of money. You know, it's not like they can't compete. They can't compete because they don't know how to compete.
That's true. I just said earlier, they've never seen anything like this. They don't know how to deal with it. Because for far too long, they've been the big boys on the block. He told Denny and White, we used to be slave drivers. Now I got to call you Mr. White. That's not really true. For too long, these guys, even as independent as you thought you was, you had to work with these guys. And now Big Bank comes through here and they say, man, F all of that. Let's keep it simple. You got to pay them a percentage or whatever. Come over here. We'll triple it. We'll get your fights and you'll have more freedom. Just come fight for us. Josh Padley, I think, is an electrician by trade. He had a day job. He was flown in to Saudi to fight Shakur on short notice. He lost the fight. Turkey al-Sheikh says, come on back. He says, Your Excellency, I can't. I got a day job. What do you do? I'm an electrician. I think he ran a business. He said, I just can't. He said, I'm going to retire you out. Now, I don't know how much money he gave, but Josh Padley is now a full-time fighter, and he's pretty damn good. He's pretty damn good. But this man retired him. Never in a million years, I know he didn't think that in one fight, coming off of a loss, that this man would ask him to come back and he would retire him out. You know what has to go behind that? I own my own business, or I have a job and I make X amount of dollars a year, and I need to retire, but I need my pension. And so the cost of living of where I live, it's going to cost me, I don't know, the pounds ratio to, let's say it's American. I'm going to need at least $5,000 to $6,000 a month for me and my family to live comfortably when I walk away from my job. Turkey says, no problem. How about I give you $10 million? $10 million, come fight, and then after that, I'll pay you on top of that. And plus, you can always go on a hell of a win streak and make more money than that. But I'll give you $10 million up front. Leave that job alone. Whatever you got in your pension, collect it. But I'm going to give you $10 million. Come over here. I'm retiring you out because I want you over here fighting full time. And it's not, pay as you go, or I'm going to pay you $10 million over the next 10 years. No. He will cut you a check and put it in your bank account. And that'll be the end of it. $10 million? Oh, okay. I'm done. My lifestyle done changed now. This is what they're dealing with. And that's why I got Dana White here laughing, because he knows that these goddamn gooks and slave drivers in the UK, they've never had to deal with something like this.
There's no vision there. I don't know how else to explain it other than that. And listen, I'm sitting here, my third fight in.
When you talk about their vision, what's their vision? What, getting Max Kellerman to tell everyone that Callum Walsh is the next Roy Jones? Or putting Charles Martin on a headline show on a Sunday night in front of 126 people in your garage?
Hey, listen. Who's the worst matchmaker that you've seen in the last decade? Who's the worst matchmaker that you've seen in the last decade? It's this motherfucker right here. You know he got AJ beat in New York? More than just in the ring. I told y'all, AJ got poisoned. He was supposed to be on top of that, man. How do you F that up? How do you F that up? Tell me. Fantastic. Fantastic. Scott Lennon off topic. He says, Drew, what was your favorite kids show growing up? Oh, kids show? Banana Splits. La 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 la. Google it. Well, YouTube it. YouTube Banana Splits. The Banana Splits gang. Oh man, what year was that? We're talking 79, 78. Who remembers? Who's my age? Who remember the Banana Splits gang? I know Snoop remember that. We're talking the 70s. I used to jump up and dance. Used to be all happy when they came on. Derrick Gaines, I know you remember. Yeah, True Boxing Night. Yeah. Ty French, yep. Showing my age.
Chris Legg says He-Man. That came later. That came a lot later. The Electric Company, yeah. Spider-Man was on that, yeah. Morgan Freeman was on that. He was like 104 back then. Anyway.
In a ring that looks like you've just got it out of a local club show. I mean, what sort of fucking vision's that? Or better still, oh no.
Have you ever heard Eddie Hearn talk like this? He's always composed and talking shit. He's on the fence, man. You hear this?
Here's a belt and it's suffer. Look at the vision. That's not vision, that's control. Because
that's not vision, that's control. Wow, dude.
reality is, when he says we can't compete, they can't compete in this cutthroat world of boxing.
Whoa. Jay Bean in that super chat, salute, man. My brother says, now every time we see AJ, he got his own water. Yes, sir. He knows what happened in New York, and Eddie Hearn figured it out later. He figured it out later. He figured it out later. We said Deontay got poisoned. They laughed at us. That motherfucker AJ came straight over here. My boy who passed during the pandemic, he was like, yo, I was calling you. I said, I felt my phone in my pocket. What happened? He said, yo, well, first Thomas called me. He says, yo, AJ got dropped like 5 times. I said, stop trolling, bro. And then my boy called. He said, bro, your man was downstairs by the locker room in the hallway. He came outside sweating like he wanted to take a shit. I said, what? He said, he had no sneakers on, nothing. I said, what the fuck was wrong with him? He said, yo, he looks sick. Those are his exact words. I said, he looks sick. He said, yeah, he looks sick. I went home and watched the fight. Well, first of all, back then my gym was 24 hours and I was still on Facebook. So I went live on Facebook and I went to the gym. And it was like nighttime and I went to the gym and I clowned everybody because I was in this boxing group. And there was a lot of Brits in there and I clowned them. I said, yeah, your man got smoked by a fat Mexican. Because that's what they kept calling him, the fat Mexican. I'm like, all right, don't sleep though. That boy can fight. Oh, he can't beat Joseph Parker. I said he got robbed. But whatever. I said, we hope your man wins. Okay. Just know he's not fighting Deontay because your man's a pussycat. I didn't even go to the fight, and I was invited. He got smoked, bro. And I said, well, Chevio, it's a tea time. I was trolling. Then I went home and watched the fight, and I said, bro, what's wrong with this dude? And in between rounds, they got the mic over his shit, and you hear him say, why do I feel this way? I was like, uh-oh. I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing because I understood what they just did to him. It's a sad fact that he didn't know. They got AJ. Me and Stormy did a live on it. They got Deontay like how they got AJ. No, I'm sorry, they did AJ like how they got Deontay. And I put out a meme. You understand, bruv? No, I have Deontay saying, do you understand? And I got AJ saying, I think I get it now, bruv. They ain't the same.
Because it's a horrible world and they don't want to compete. They want to create their own world.
What's wrong with that?
But listen, at the moment, when you compare Matchroom shows to Zuffa shows, quite frankly, Zuffa shows are absolute, complete dog shit. But they're going to get better and they're going to...
I don't know why they're dog shit. They were competitive fights. They're throwback to me. I felt like I was watching the old ESPN Friday night fights. I felt like I was watching the USA fights on Tuesday night fights. And you just said they're going to get better.
Sign some big fighters and they're going to spunk some money. They're going to waste some money. I've said it before, they're clever people.
Scared money don't make no money. When you're in business, you take a risk. Average business fails within 4 years. So we're going to see where this goes. But it takes about 4 to 5 years to reap a profit. But you got to spend money to make money. He knows this.
But right now, they're trying to manipulate fight fans, and they don't understand how intelligent fight fans are.
They try to manipulate fight fans. That's something that he always does. He told me about Devin Haney. He said, you know, you got to say certain things when you promote him. And he talked about, I said, well, what do you mean when you said what you said about Devin? And he went on this monologue. Then I said, well, how does he compare? Because he was talking about Devin being still shell-shocked and everything else. I said, well, how does he compare to Shakur? And I was talking about everything. Forget the PTSD. We're talking about pillow fist, because Shakur don't knock anybody out. Pillow fist, chinny. We don't know what happens when he gets hit. And all of a sudden, he started singing a different tune. Until Shakur stops fucking with him. Then he's the worst thing in the world since molded bread.
When it comes to boxing, you can't create these cards and tell everyone it's the best be the best, because it's quite frankly not. And the reality is, yes, I do work for my dad, but guess what? Dana White has worked for his daddy for a long time. The Fertitta brothers, that's who he worked for. And right now, Dana White's got a new daddy, and his name is Turki Al-Sheikh.
And your ass is right over there with him too. What are you talking about? That's like the fat nigga calling a fat nigga fat nigga. Fat nigga. What? At least I don't make potholes when I walk. Nigga. Your scale says 430 pounds. Like mine. What are we doing here? Main biker in that super chat. He says, money is a lot of YouTubers and Eddie Hearn's God. Yeah, bro, listen. There's no doubt in my mind that these clowns paid a lot of YouTubers, especially during the AJ situation. You see Showbiz, the coon adolescent, that clown, he is what these YouTubers want. They want the deal. They want a deal. And they got to coon and shuck and jive to get one. They want to be him, but your eyes ain't big enough. Y'all got to buck your eyes out your head a little more. Y'all got to wear straw hats. Start tap dancing. Tap dance during your entire stream. You'll catch the eye of somebody. Chew on straws. Not the man-made straws. I'm talking about the straws from the field. Get one of those and talk with a super country accent. And go against black fighters 100%. You'll get a deal. Somebody will pick you up sooner or later. Well, maybe not. Because it's a new day. That's right.
Turki Al-Sheikh is Dana White's pappy. When I received the email.
Now he's talking about Conor Ben. After he done went on a monologue about Dana White in response. And I never heard his voice like that. Ever. So now he's talking about Conor Ben.
From his lawyer. I texted him and said, I think we should have a call. I think you, for everything I've done for you, I think I deserve a call. And he said, no. Man. Fuck. I can't believe it. Very painful. I don't know. Feels a little bit of a wasted few years. Pretty devastated. I've had a few days to digest what might happen. So maybe this interview's different to what it would have been a couple of days ago. It's not often you get shocked. And I blame myself. I forgot it was boxing. The loyalty that we've shown would never.
Oh my God. This dude really said that? Adewale in that super chat, much love. He says, thanks for the great show, Druth, man. Miguel, hashtag Miguel. Let's hit. Give me a one time for Miguel, man. Miguel, bro.
¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
Damn, man. Miguel taking L's, bro. Did he really just say that? This dude just forgot that you forgot us a cutthroat. How do you forget? I don't care if this guy's from your soil. I would love to hear what he says behind closed doors about this move.
Never ever put us in this position. I made a mistake because I misjudged the character. And I backed him. When he was done, out, loaned him hundreds of thousands of pounds. You know.
Todd French in that super chat. He says, not Turkey with the non-contract rule on Ben. Well, one thing that I will say, now we don't have to worry about Boots getting sold to Conor Ben at Wembley. Now we ain't got to worry about that. Now, to the Boots fans, Now he might hold on to Boots and do everything he needs to do to promote him properly. Now he might have to try and get Boots in the best position to get fights that not only make him money, but to define his legacy. What do you think Eddie Hearn cares about more? His bottom line financially or Boots' resume and place in history? What do you think he cares about more? I think he cares about his bottom line. Because if he cared about AJ's place in history, he'd have let the Wilder fight happen. But losing is a concern. Which is why he protected his what? His investment. Which is why it took 4 years for us to get Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. Because Bob Arum did everything in his power to prohibit that fight. Everything. You see that? And I'm telling you right now, matchroom fighters are watching. And you know what they're saying right now? No shit. What you think I'm doing if Turkey offers me money? What you think I'm doing? Eddie Hearn is probably renegotiating contracts right now. You have to sign this. Why? This state, you can't leave me. Man, this is a business. Eddie, if I have to leave, I have to leave. We're fine now. But you got to do right by me. Turkey offers me money, I'm going to leave. What Turkey just did was put him on notice. He's not used to this. Frank Warren's not used to this. And he got so beside himself, he hit him with $1 billion lawsuit. You know how stupid this is? He already burnt the bridge.
Some people, loyalty really matters. Other people, maybe not so. There's a lot I could say, but we'll keep it classy. Maybe he's not quite the person I thought he was. I don't know. Look, maybe we'll talk in.
No, he is exactly who you thought he was. Business, dude. This is what you do. But now it's being done to you. It's business, never personal. Didn't Shakur snake Jamel Herring? The one time I spoke to a Shakur fan, they didn't even know. I don't know about that. Yeah, he snaked Jamel Herring. When Bill tried to get him that fight for Undisputed when they were leaving 135, he tried to get more bread. But that bread was by the book. So it wasn't a low ball. Shakur he didn't deserve more than 25%. Why? Because you got some fan base coming out of stink-ass New Jersey, and I say that respectfully. But if you've driven through New Jersey, you know what I'm talking about when I say stink-ass. When you're on that, when you're about to hit that turnpike, those goddamn factories, holy smokes. You drive through that, no one farted. That's just how it smells over there. You got to be ready for it. Jamel Herring's another person that let Shakur sleep on his couch or whatever the kind of relationship they had. His wife was like, nah, man, what Shakur did was messed up. And what did he tell Jamel? It's just business. All right. It is. Okay. You could have fought Devin at 135 for all 4 belts, first time on pay-per-view, your highest payday. And you said no. Devin ducked. All right, well, if Devin didn't go to Australia to fight for Undisputed, would you still be saying that Devin ducked? Yeah, you would. But not only did he go to Australia to get Undisputed, he went back to defend it, and guess what? George Kambosos was the A-side the whole time. Joe Townsend, salute. George Kambosos was the A-side. Devin never complained about money. He went over there and got it done, and y'all still don't give him props for that. But Shakur gets to do and say whatever he wants. So when I say y'all hate Devin, you know, whatever. But the way Devin moved, he did the work, he solidified his legacy, and now the money's here because he's on Turki Al-Ashik's good side to the point where he can't find them fights. You see that? He's getting the work done. All I see is the work. All these guys are bursting at the seams.
The future, but what can I say? He's just put a little bit more of a fucking rocket up my arse to say, okay, we'll see.
Oh. So that's what's going on. $1 billion lawsuit. Eddie Hearn crying. But he ain't suing. Because you can't. Exactly, Rod. He's going to be drained. No fight. I need more than 25%. Yeah, all right. Something about losing to that boy with the father. Something about that bothers these dudes, man. I'm going to start calling Shakur Judas. Y'all know why. He's a Judas. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, now you know. No. You know what? I'm going to save what I have to say about Ryan Garcia tomorrow. Because it's going to be very detailed and I can't sum it up in 15 minutes. A lot of people are annoyed. Shabazz, salute. A lot of people are annoyed. You know, Ryan Garcia is doing what he's doing. Well, what's going on? Why is he getting these opportunities? Slow your roll. I'm gonna tell you what the game is. I'm gonna put you up on game, and you could believe it or not. You could listen to me or not. You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to. But I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you know what? I'll tell you tomorrow. I'll tell you tomorrow. I want all the haters to come through and tell me what it's not. You know, the trolls come in and say what it is and say what you think it is. But if y'all can't see the play and how it's set up, you're gonna learn later. And when it happens, I don't hear any excuses. So I'll save it for tomorrow. Because there's things that are being lined up right now, and you're just looking at it on the outside. But, you know, Jermaine Jubilee with the suplex, salute. Slim Hussein, salute. This is not going to end how they think because the regime has changed. Bob, salute. I'm going to tell you one more time. This is not going to end how y'all think. Y'all still think that this is the same old, same old. When the young man came on the panel and we was building a fighter, he said he'd send him the Golden Boy or Top Rank. In this atmosphere, you might not want to do that. You want to maximize the potential of your fighter. You send him the way the money is and where he can also test his mettle and build his legacy. So unless you're not confident and your fighter's skill set, that's up to you. But gone are the days where these people in charge could build a fighter. Well, he's not as good as his contemporary overseas or down south or his fellow countrymen, but we could make a lot of money off this guy, AJ. He could fight a little bit. We could put him in a position, leave the marketing to me. And the first time I saw Eddie Hearn, he was on a video with shades and he was popping his shit. And I'm like, who is this guy? This is Eddie Hearn. I said, why do I know that last name? Oh, this is Barry Hearn's son. I said, oh, okay, he's popping his shit. Okay, well, let's see what he's going to do. And I haven't celebrated much. Who's this kid, Anthony Joshua? Oh, okay, he's a real deal. Al Heyman being the advisor. He told Charles Martin, go over there and defend your belt. I can't tell you not to go because Eddie Hearn is paying you. So go over there and get your bread. He went over there. He didn't win. Now AJ has a bargaining chip of 3 belts. All Deontay wanted to do was fight him. Yes, I'm the B side. Yes, you could sell out Wembley faster than Michael Jackson. Yes, I'll come to the UK. And every time he agreed, the standard changed. And when he said, you know, F it, 50-50 or no fight, you guys are playing games. And it was still Deontay's fault. And I said, you know what? Something need to happen because these guys got to be stopped. 5 years later, Turkey out of Sheik. This is what I asked for. Is it perfect? No. I'm sure Zuffa or Riyadh Caesar, I'm sure they're going to do something to piss me off. I'm sure. Because it's boxing. Nothing's perfect. I'm sure there's going to be a time when I'm going to sit up here doing a live talking about why they did this, why. I'm sure that's coming. I know. I'm expecting that. But what if it don't come? And watch this. Everybody else been doing whatever the hell they want to do. And I said, for this thing to be shaken up, it needs to burn. There's going to be some black guy that we thought Al Heyman was, that was going to come and revolutionize the game and change it. He was met with resistance. In fact, they tried to sue him for violating the Muhammad Ali Act. Remember that? And now the guy that was suing him, Oscar De La Hoya, is now trying to partner up with him after calling him Black Hitler. This is the most bipolar, dysfunctional thing I've ever seen. Turkey came in with real money, and the fighters recognized it. Real recognizes real. The guys that want to make money while beating their contemporaries, they went to Riyadh Caesar, and the only nigga complaining was who? Tank Davis. And he was one of the first people that was offered real money to face his contemporary. And what did he say? If I go down there, I have to knock Devin out to win. Well, all your fanatics say that Devin gets knocked out by you anyway. And it's not going to the cards. So go get your money. Yo, shout out to Tank. He ain't got to bend the knee. Was about to bend the knee to Jake Paul. And he fucked that up by beating up a girl. And now we're supposed to say, hey, man, show Tank you love him. We coming back. I can't say who we fighting, but we coming back. You know what? At this point, it's irrelevant. Because if Dana White really wants to be a dick about it, whoever Tank chooses to fight, they can go to the opponent and be like, yo, don't fight him. If it's Pitbull Cruz, don't fight him. You know what you do? Come hang with me. I'll make it worth your money. I'll make it worth your time and money. And whatever Tank decides to do, the date that he's fighting, I'm going to make sure I'm going to put on an event on that date, and I'm going to put you on the card. And the thing is, they'll fuck around and put a blockbuster event on Netflix, and Tank, you'll have a choice. Watch a blockbuster event on Netflix for free. Well, you're paying for Netflix. Or pay $100 to watch Tank Davis fight some guy you know he's going to beat. With a shitty undercard. Now, if you don't like boxing, you just like Tank, you're going to pay for it. Me personally, I'm not paying for no Tank events. Unless he's fighting his contemporary, I'm not paying for anything. Because I'm the consumer. I am the consumer. You guys just consume. I'm talking about the haters right now. You consume, Tank walk into your room.
And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis?
And y'all get busy. But I'm going to save that Garcia conversation for tomorrow because I'm going to get into detail with it. And I want the haters to come troll me. See, because when you troll, you show your fear. You're afraid. What if Drew is right? Yeah, bro. I didn't see this coming, but my prayers were answered. I said, I don't like how boxing is, and I'm really not. They systematically tried to kill my brother, Deontay, and discredit him. You know what I mean? Bud getting out the game is a smart move. You know what I'm saying? I can respect Shakur's skill set, but he's, you know, they're trying to play keep away with Devin Haney. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. This ain't the old regime. You're gonna end up fighting that guy. Eddie Hearn worked my nerves. Frank Warren worked my nerves for years. All I wanted was what? One face, one name in each division. It was like 14 of them. One face, one name. Forget all of this 4 sanctioning bodies, and you'll forget all of that. 4 sanctioning bodies, 4 different sanctioning fees. This guy's fighting on Queensberry. This guy's fighting on the PBC. The fight will never happen. Bullshit. This is not the boxing I'm used to. And I said, this crap need to burn. And my goodness, yes, this is just what I wanted. This is just what the doctor ordered. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Prayers answered. Well, Drew, what about Riyadh Season and Ryan Garcia? What you got to say about that? Yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow about that. And when I talk to you, just keep remembering Turki Al-Sheikh smiling. Because I'm going to lay it out, because some of y'all just don't think. Some of y'all just don't think. Y'all don't think. Y'all think it's sweet right now.
I have no problem working for His Excellency. If he asked me to clean his shoes, I would probably do it. No, but I
Who says that? Did your father hear you say that? What a change. Your father went from saying, we used to be slave drivers, to his son saying, I would clean his shoes. What the fuck, bro? Okay. But yeah, salute to y'all. Venmo, Zelle, Cash App, Super Chat. I think the general's on. Let's head over there. Thank y'all for rolling with me on Rumble. Salute to y'all. Y'all go follow me on Rumble. And tomorrow, this live actually leads into what I'm talking about tomorrow. So we're gonna be talking about Ryan Garcia tomorrow. Why I'm not even worried about the outcome of that. You'll see. I'll put it into perspective perfectly for you tomorrow. Bronx on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.